Tens of thousands of people in Germany are helping refugees. But the attacks on refugees are increasing. There have been protests against the government's refugee policy. The mayor of the town of Bernau received a death threat for his support for refugees. A new facility to house the refugees is to be built in Bernau soon.
There is no fundamental right to a better life.
This anti-refugee demonstration was held last October in the town of Bernau, near Berlin, by the right-wing NPD party. Sebastian Schmidtke, a party official, is a featured speaker at the rally.
Sure, the world has financial problems right now. But Germany and Europe can't solve those problems by letting the whole world move here.
Nearby, there was a counter-demonstration. Mayor André Stahl, who's a member of the Left Party, took part. Stahl recently received a death threat, a message scrawled at night on a wall.
You can't let yourself be intimidated by political threats. You can't surrender to the NPD and right-wing extremists. I suspect the extremists made that threat, and you've just got to stand up to them.
There aren't many people at the NPD rally, but they call on Mayor Stahl to resign because of his pro-refugee policy. The NPD is trying to stop the opening of the new refugee housing facility in Bernau. The party denies it made the death threat against the mayor.
Policy must always be decided on a political level. Political violence or threats are never acceptable.
But Schmidtke is said to have attacked participants at an anti-right-wing rally, and he was sentenced to probation following a conviction on a sedition charge. Many local residents were shocked when they heard about the death threat against the mayor. That's why a lot of them came to this rally.
It's awful. We won't stand for these groups attacking us like that.
I want to show my support. I'm on your side, and I hope more people will join us.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
As the NPD supporters pack up to leave, the crowd shouts back at them, "Get out." The sign says, "We and André Stahl are defending democracy." For months now, right-wing extremists in Germany have been venting their anger against those who've been actively helping the refugees. The mayor says that there's plenty of room for refugees in Bernau, and he and his supporters will work hard to see that these people are properly housed.
This kind of agitation is really poisoning the political climate here. There's a lot of tension, and we're just going to have to deal with it. I'm a politician, and that makes me a public figure. That means that some of your decisions will upset some people.
Stahl is on his way to the site of the new refugee facility, which is located on the outskirts of town. He's going to meet with the project supervisor.
Hello, Stahl.
Hello. Crews are still working hard on the interior. This used to be a home for senior citizens. Soon it will house 140 refugees. This is where they'll install the washing machines. The facility is due to be completed in 10 days.
We wanted to move quickly on this project.
You sure did.
The people who live near the refugee home have been invited to the opening ceremony. Many of them want to know more about the people who will be moving in. Mayor Stahl takes a short break for lunch. He's a regular visitor at this small restaurant. He orders a schnitzel, which costs €5. The mayor has to get back to work in a hurry. There's lots of planning to be done before the refugees actually start arriving.
Most of the people I need to talk to are here on their lunch break, and I can brief them on what's going on.
On the way back to the office, the mayor stops off at a local market. He chats with the seller and buys some tomatoes.
Hallo, ich hätte einmal meine Rispentomaten gerne.
Rispe? Rentnertomate? Rentnertomate sieht gut aus. Rentnertomate. Sonst ist alles gut gegangen, wa? Mit Ihnen?
Alles,
Ja, ja. Nicht schlecht.
alles im grünen Bereich.
Ja, 2,70 bitte. Ah, ja.
The seller is still upset about the death threat that the mayor got. She says he has enough to do right now without having to worry about things like that, and adds that people who have a political dispute should just sit down and discuss it.
Beruhigt sich alles wieder.
But the mayor is confident that things will eventually calm down.
Will Sie nicht aufhalten, nicht?
In der Ruhe liegt die Kraft.
Das haben Sie gut gesagt.
Tschüss. Im tagtäglichen Leben spielt es.
I don't think about it much during the day. You just get used to it. But at big public events, I do take a closer look at people in the front row.
Die Leute in der ersten Reihe mittlerweile etwas genauer an.
The mayor has called a meeting of education officials at the town hall. They're going to discuss how best to integrate the refugees into the community.
Wir haben keine Erfahrung diesbezüglich, aber ohne die von uns eingeschätzten Zuzüge, die wir noch.
Mayor Stahl wants to know whether there's any spare capacity in the daycare centers. A lot of young families have moved to Bernau in recent years, but there are enough daycare places. What should the top priority be?
I think they would need 4 hours a day of intensive German language lessons. They don't need to learn math. First, German. And they should study it for an entire year.
The mayor says there should be a course that introduces the refugees to life in Bernau. But that plan may be overtaken by events.
We've got to be prepared for any eventuality. We have no idea what sorts of refugees will arrive. Men, women, children, entire families. We'll only know that when the bus arrives and people start getting out.
Now it's time for the opening ceremony. Several police officers have been called in as a precaution. A lot of local residents want to see what the place looks like. Most of them are ready to do what they can to help the refugees, but not everyone shares this view.
Why don't they grab a gun and defend their country? They sit around here drinking coffee. They should be defending their country.
But which country? Assad's? If you're working for Assad, which country are you defending?
They should get rid of Assad.
The discussion heats up, as political discussions often do.
The neo-Nazis make a point of spreading rumors, half-truths, and outright lies to try to convince people that refugees are dangerous. I think we have to counter that sort of propaganda whenever we can.
The best way to do that is with facts. And now it turns out that the mayor has more time to get organized. The refugees won't arrive until December.
I hope that things will get back to normal around here pretty soon. We need to deal with our everyday problems.
It's the end of December, and the last of the refugees are moving into their new home. In the new year, these Syrian children will take part in a welcome course that's been organized by the mayor.
We've actually got 2 of these courses, so the kids can learn German. That will give them the chance to become integrated into the community as quickly as possible.
Someone donated these bicycles. Mayor Stahl has made a good start, but there's much more to be done.
The effort to house the refugees should be organized more efficiently. The federal government needs to show that it actually has a concrete plan. And they need to understand that this effort is much more complicated than just building new housing facilities.
But this is something Germany has never done before, on this scale anyway. The country is still finding its way, just like the people of Bernau.